Week 10 is in the books for fantasy basketball. Let's take a look at our adds and drops for the week. Coming up next on Beat the Odds. Don't go anywhere. Hello, sports fans, and happy holidays. Welcome back to another episode of Beat the Odds. We're going to be doing the over-under report here for Week 10 in the NBA fantasy basketball season. We're going to take a look at some players that you should be considering dropping from your teams and some players you should be considering picking up. We've got 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center for both lists here. Let's get started in Indiana. Looking to drop somebody who actually was off to a phenomenal start, but Benedict Mathurin, currently owned in 73% of leagues. 22 minutes he got last week here, 6.5 points, 3 rebounds on 33% shooting from the field, 50% from the line. On the 14th of December, he had a line of 24 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists in 36 minutes in a close victory in Golden State. And then this past week, he had 6 points, 2 rebounds, and 20 minutes in a close victory with Miami, against Miami. It looks like the difference between those 2 games is Aaron Nesmith has become a better option. I know he missed the last game here, but it seems as though the resurgence of Aaron Nesmith has caused the team to reconsider what they want out of Benedict. So he's seeing less minutes and less production as a result. It also doesn't help that he's in a shooting slump. As it stands right now, he is a tentative hold, but I wouldn't hesitate dropping him if you find somebody who is hot off the waiver wire. Next up, we got Bruce Brown in Denver. Currently in 60% of Yahoo leagues. 30 minutes per game last week. 10 points, 3.3 rebounds, 3.3 assists. 1 steal, 1 block. 48% shooting from the field, 75% from the line. The only reason why I would really consider dropping Bruce Brown is because MPJ has returned. It hasn't really affected Brown's minutes so much, but his usage is definitely going to drop. So I would say that what we're seeing here over the last week is likely going to be a ceiling, his ceiling for when MPJ is healthy. Now, the other thing to consider is Michael Porter Jr. is currently returning to form, which means there's likely going to be more minutes and more usage and more touches going his way, which would also affect Bruce Brown's production going forward. He does still remain a decent streamer, however, if MPJ or Jamal Murray happens to miss any more time throughout the season. Up next in Detroit, someone who's falling quickly down the charts, Saddiq Bey, currently owned in 61% of Yahoo leagues, 23 minutes per game, 8 points, 3.7 rebounds, 30% from the field, 67% from the line. He's on a cold shooting streak, and his role is shifted to the bench. His results in that, because of that, have been greatly diminished. Doesn't offer a whole lot on defense either. He's really just a points and 3 specialist. But if he's going to be seeing a drastic drop in playing time, he's really not going to be worth rostering on most leagues here. So you can feel free to drop him if you got him on your team. Next up, we have in OKC, Lou Dort. We've been talking about him a bit here this season. 51% owned in Yahoo leagues, 36 minutes per game, 12.3 points, 2.7 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 38% from the field, 77% from the line. We're really hoping that at some point he gets above that 40% threshold for his field goal percentage. That would certainly help him stay off these lists going forward here over the course of the season. But as been the case here for Lou Dort, his poor shooting has continued. He's getting a lot of minutes, which is nice to see, but he hasn't really translated that into good production. We would hope that we would see an uptick in either rebounds or assists, and we haven't really seen that. So I think we've got a really low ceiling for Lou Dort, which views him for me as a fringe roster player. So pick him up at your own risk. But if you got him on there again, he's my first candidate that I would drop if I'm streaming players or if there's somebody big off the waiver wire that I can pick up. Last but not least here for the drops, we've got Isaiah Stewart in Detroit, 60% owned in Yahoo leagues, 26 minutes per game, 6.7 points, 4 rebounds, 1.7 assists on 35% shooting from the field, 67% from the line. Let's look at last week's stats for Jalen Duren, and you can see why Isaiah Stewart is a drop candidate. Duren in 30 minutes per game, so 4 minutes more, was 11.7 points, 10 rebounds, and 1.3 assists on 75% shooting from the field, 71 from the line. Seems to be a change in focus in Detroit for their big men. That's giving Duren the exposure and minutes that he needs and a major edge over Isaiah Stewart going forward. Stewart's dedicated three-point shot kind of helps him out here, but it only helps when it falls. So he's kind of reminding me a little bit of a Chris Boucher. At this point, I can see towards the end of the season that they would be owned very similar as the year goes on. All right, let's take a look at some players that you can pick up here for the week. We're going to start in Golden State. Dante DiVincenzo, he has an ownership tag of 42%. He's got 33 minutes per game last week, or in last 2 weeks, I should say, because he was injured for a couple of games last week here. So over his 2-week span, he got 14.4 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.4 steals, 3.6 3-pointers made on 44% from the field, and 86% from the line. Golden State, of course, missing 2 key starters in Curry and Wiggins, but Dante figures to still have a prominent role when Wiggins returns, and he's great across the board and a sharpshooter from deep. So he's a really good player to pick up here. Probably not somebody that I would hang on to once Curry returns. I might give him a game or two just to kind of see how that plays out. But he does seem to be a solid pickup here, at least for the next little while, until we see Curry back in action. Up next in Los Angeles for the Clippers, we got Norman Powell, owned in 45% of the league, 21 minutes per game last week, 17.5 points, 3.0 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 57% from the field, 64% from the line. He's returned from a 10-game absence here in the past week. His minutes should start to creep closer to 30 minutes per game. The only thing with Norm Powell, as most of you probably already know, he's a bit of a volatile player to own in fantasy. He can go off for 35 points one game and then just completely disappear in the next. But I would say that the ceiling that you'd see for Norm Powell is certainly worth the risk here for 45% owned. If you need him, I'd at least give him the stream option and just see how he plays out. If he keeps a hot string going here for his shooting, he's certainly worth a roster spot in most leagues. Up next for New York, we have Quentin Grimes, 33% owned in Yahoo leagues. We have 35 minutes per game last week, 12.3 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 2.3 rebounds, 3.7 assists and 2.7 3-pointers made, 41% shooting from the field, 63% from the line. He's getting big minutes for a potential playoff team. They had a really big run here for wins over the past week. It's gotten snapped. I think they've lost 3 in a row. But on this team, with the minutes that he's getting, he's become the 4th option, and he's getting some good complementary stats along that line there as well. He's a solid defender. He's adept at threes. Certainly worth a flyer based on the amount of minutes that he's getting here for New York. Up next, we have Jeremy Sochin, 24% owned in Yahoo leagues, 27 minutes per game last week, 16 points, 8.3 rebounds, 4.0 assists, 1 block, 50% from the field, 60% from the line. Looks like he has a lock down on a starting spot in San Antonio, and he seems to be an everything type player. He chips in everywhere except for free throws. He struggles mightily with that. 60% is actually much higher than his current season, which I believe is like 47%.
I would give Sochin a try here, and he could be a really big boost for your team if he can hang on to that starting role. And then last on the list here, we have Onyeka Okongwu in Atlanta. 49% owned, 30 minutes per game last week, 13.7 points, 9.3 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 blocks on 65% shooting from the field, 88 from the line. He returns back to the bench following Capella's return to the starting lineup, but you can expect Okongwu to see probably about 20 minutes per game when Capella is healthy, and then of course that spikes when he's out. But if you discount Okongwu's stats last week by 30%, he still makes him roster worthy. He's definitely going to be a plus rebounder and shot blocker. He's going to chip in into the low teens there one way or another. So certainly worth a roster spot for if you need a center. Okongwu would be somebody that I would take a look at. And that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thank you again for watching. We do have a giveaway once we hit 1,000 subscribers. We're going to kind of show you guys what that is here right now.
Help us get to 1,000 subscribers. When we get there, I will be giving away to one lucky subscriber this Anthony Edwards Panini Prism Rookie Card PSA 9 slab absolutely free. Subscribe today.
To be a part of this giveaway, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Always like the video if you get a chance to, and you can always leave a comment down below here as well. That certainly helps us out. But once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we will be doing that giveaway for that Anthony Edwards slab. So stay tuned for that. But that will be it for this one here. Thanks again for watching. We're going to sign off for now. We are going to catch you guys on our next episode.